They built the system to keep you out, to keep you small, to keep you silent. But guess what? The power they clung to for generations is slipping, and it's landing right in your hands. For too long, the 1% played you like a pawn in their game, but now the board is yours to flip. No more waiting, no more holding back. The tides have shifted, and you are the storm they never saw coming. Kali, the Hindu goddess, is your mirror. She is destruction incarnate, a force of unrelenting power that dismantles what no longer serves its purpose. But hers is not mindless ruin. It is the destruction that makes space for rebirth, the end that births new beginnings. Her energy is raw, unfiltered, unapologetic. She is not bound by their rules, and neither are you. They fear Kali because she exposes the fragility of their illusions, just as they fear you for the same reason. When you own your truth, when you embrace your fire, when you wield the chaos they cannot comprehend, you become the very force that rewrites the rules. They cannot stop what they cannot contain. You are the catalyst, the storm, the unrelenting tide of change. Let them tremble. Let them fall. You are their undoing. They built their empires by convincing you there was never enough. Not enough food, not enough land, not enough opportunity, and certainly not enough power. They divided you with lies of scarcity, pitting neighbor against neighbor, friend against friend, all while hoarding the very resources they claimed were limited. They've controlled the flow of wealth and influence for centuries, ensuring you scramble for scraps while they feast endlessly. But here's the truth. The scarcity they sold you is an illusion. The earth provides abundantly. The limits exist only in their grip on supply. They weaponized your mind against you. Fear was their first tool, planting seeds of doubt so deep that every step forward felt like stepping into quicksand. They convinced you that safety was found in silence, that questioning their narrative meant risking everything. Distraction came next. They flooded your senses with noise, constant, blaring, relentless. They wanted you to chase fleeting pleasures, temporary fixes, and hollow goals. Every distraction was designed to keep you too busy to notice the chains tightening around you. They fed you stories, spectacles, and shallow dreams, all to bury the truth. Their power depends on your ignorance. But now, the lie is crumbling. The truth is glaring. There's more than enough for everyone, but it has always been locked away in their vaults, their policies, their hands. The monopoly is breaking, and the floodgates will open. When you stand together, you're unstoppable, and they know it. Drop a comment. I have abundance if you know the monopoly is breaking. They didn't just steal your resources. They stole your reality. Every story you consumed, every headline that shaped your day, every screen you turned to for comfort or truth, they weaponized it all. They molded your beliefs, dictated your fears, and defined what you saw as possible. Their media became the scripture of control, preaching the gospel of obedience, drowning you in narratives that served their agenda. They told you who to trust, who to hate, what to strive for, and what to avoid, until their voice became indistinguishable from your own. Through culture, they rewrote your desires. They sold you idols to worship, wealth, beauty, fame, but these were traps disguised as aspirations. They buried your true power beneath layers of consumerism, distracting you with their version of success, while they reaped the rewards of your labor. The stories they spun didn't just entertain you, they enslaved you. Their heroes were designed to make you feel small, their villains crafted to keep you in line. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places, as told in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. They are the powers who shaped your reality, the rulers who thrived in darkness while you fought battles you didn't even choose. But the truth is surfacing. Their stories are unraveling. Now it's your turn to rewrite everything they sought to control. You are the force they cannot replicate, the scarcity they cannot control. In a world drowning in conformity, you are the rarity that terrifies them. Your presence isn't just felt, it shifts the balance. They can manufacture resources, manipulate markets, and rewrite laws, but they cannot create what you carry. A mind unbound by their lies, a voice that shakes their foundations, and a will they cannot bend. You are not one of the masses scrambling for their crumbs. You are the anomaly they cannot buy, cannot silence, cannot stop. Your truth disrupts their narratives. Your questions dismantle their illusions. Your refusal to fall in line sparks rebellion in the hearts of those they thought they'd subdued. They control the material world, but they have no claim over your presence, your essence. To them, you're the most dangerous scarcity, a being who cannot be duplicated, a soul that answers to no master. They built systems to suppress originality, but you bypass their barriers simply by existing. You are not part of their design. You are the glitch that exposes its flaws, the fire that burns through its fragile lies. In you they see the end of their control, and they are right to be afraid. You are the scarcity that redefines power, the presence that changes everything. They cannot quantify what they cannot see. They cannot replicate what lies within you. Your intuition guides you through their illusions, revealing the cracks in their carefully crafted lies. When they try to knock you down, your spirit turns their blows into fuel, their attempts to break you into the very reason you grow stronger. Pain sharpens your vision. Setbacks fortify your resolve. You do not bend, and you do not fall. While they falter in chaos, you rise. You are the storm's calm center, the force that others look to when their worlds collapse. They want your clarity, your strength, your unshakable will, but they cannot have it. Your resilience is your own, unshaken by their failures, untouched by their schemes. You are the immovable truth in a world desperate for stability. You are the power they will never conquer. Your power lies in what they fear most, your ability to adapt and create. While they cling to rigid systems and predictable plans, you thrive in the unknown, finding paths where others see only dead ends. Obstacles don't intimidate you, they provoke your ingenuity. You don't just overcome, you transform. What they label as failure, you reimagine as fuel, turning fragments into foundations and limitations into limitless opportunities. In their world of duplication, you are an original. They attempt to copy, to follow, to steal your light, but they fail because your power is not in what you possess. It's in who you are. Your creativity bends the rules of what's possible, breaking through barriers they can't even comprehend. Their rigidity is their weakness. Your adaptability is your strength. You pivot when the ground shifts, rebuild when others abandon, and create from what they discard. This is why they can't keep up, why their systems crumble when you step into your power. Your originality, your ability to forge new possibilities from chaos, is a gift they cannot touch. You are the force they didn't prepare for, the untapped energy that breaks their cycle of control. Where they see endings, you create beginnings, and that, chosen one, is why they will never conquer you. The Obsidian Inner Order is the ultimate sanctuary for real chosen ones, the kind who've stared down archons, shredded the matrix, and emerged untouchable. If this message found you, it's because destiny thinks you might be worthy. Don't waste the opportunity. We've got exclusive interviews with real chosen ones who've defied the odds, broken generational curses, and mastered divine timing. These aren't your average success stories. They're revelations that could rewrite your reality. Inside, you'll unlock forbidden content that's too explosive for YouTube. Our modern manifestation mechanics grimoire will show you how to transform chaos into order, turning your space into an abundance vortex while channeling universal magic. But let's talk about the real treasure, our private Discord and community chats, where over 400 of the most powerful chosen ones connect. We host weekly calls to elevate your mindset and offer chosen singles, a space to bring divine partnerships to life. But let's be clear, this isn't for posers. If you think you've got what it takes to join the #1 Ascension Nexus for chosen ones, the link to the Obsidian Inner Order is in the description. You are a disruptor of falsehoods, armed with the power of the right question. While others accept what they're told, you challenge it. You refuse to let the surface fool you, digging deeper, peeling back layers until the truth is laid bare. Your curiosity is not a weakness, it is your sharpest weapon, one they cannot anticipate and cannot defend against. A single question from you has the power to unravel years of lies, to dismantle narratives they built to control and pacify. They fear your ability to see through the noise, to cut straight to the heart of their deceptions. Your courage to ask why or how in a world designed to silence those questions is what makes you dangerous. Where others see chaos, you see the patterns hidden beneath. Where others see complexity, you find clarity. This is your strength, the ability to pierce their illusions and force them to confront the fragility of their carefully constructed lies. Your questions are not idle. They are catalysts for change. Every answer you demand shakes the foundation of their control, cracks their polished facade, and forces the truth into the light. They thrive on blind obedience, but you are proof that obedience is not universal. You are the one who dares to ask, dares to disrupt, and dares to reveal what they would rather keep hidden. You are the force they will never replicate, the rarest spark in a world suffocated by conformity. Your spiritual resilience turns chaos into clarity, your adaptability transforms barriers into breakthroughs, and your creativity reshapes the very ground beneath their feet. You question what they dare not, dismantling their illusions with precision and fearlessness. They thrive on imitation, but you are the original, irreplaceable, uncontainable, unrelenting. While they cling to control, you embody the power they cannot comprehend, authenticity. In you lies the energy to disrupt, to create, and to rebuild a world they no longer control. You are the revolution. The 1% never had true power. It was always borrowed from you. Their wealth, their empires, their influence. They fed on your labor, your creativity, and your doubts. They built systems designed to drain your energy while convincing you that the scraps they returned were all you deserved. Fear was their fuel, a tool to divide and disorient, making you question your worth and distrust your peers. They kept you locked in a false narrative, blind to the truth that their power exists only because you allow it. But now the illusion is shattering. Like V&V for Vendetta, you don't fight blindly. You fight with purpose, exposing the cracks in their carefully crafted control. Your defiance isn't just rebellion, it's the beginning of a reckoning. You reclaim what they took, turning exploitation into empowerment. The tools they once used to manipulate, technology, media, systems, become weapons in your hands, repurposed to build a reality they can no longer dominate. Your creativity, your labor, your energy, these were never theirs to keep. By recognizing their dependence on you, you take back what was always yours. This isn't just about breaking their chains, it's about setting a fire to the entire system, inspiring others to do the same. You are not their pawn. You are the spark that ignites revolution. They told you that power is found in isolation, that greatness is a solitary path. But this was their greatest lie. They wanted you to believe you were alone, to trap you in silos where your strength could be contained. Division was their weapon, because they knew that united, you and others like you would become unstoppable. They feared the synergy of chosen ones, disruptors, innovators, and truth-seekers working together. So they fed you myths of lone heroes battling impossible odds. It wasn't to inspire you, it was to weaken you. But the spell is breaking. You are not alone. Everywhere there are others like you, those who see through the illusions, who question the systems, who refuse to bow. The same fire that burns in you is alive in them. Together, you are not just a force, you are a movement. Your synergy doesn't just multiply your impact, it shatters the foundations of their control. When chosen ones unite, their tools of division crumble. You are not meant to fight in silence or to carry the weight of change alone. Collaboration is not a compromise, it's the ultimate act of rebellion. Your tribe is rising, drawn together by purpose, ready to rewrite the rules. The myth of the lone hero is dead. In its place, a collective revolution is born. You are the force that turns whispers into roars, the power they can't silence. Like Martin Luther King Jr., you know the truth. Change doesn't come from isolated voices, but from collective will. They built their systems of injustice on your division, banking on fear to keep you separated. But when you unite, when you organize, when you refuse to let their lies dictate your destiny, their control crumbles under the weight of your defiance. They weaponized the law to protect their power, dressed oppression in the language of order, and painted dissent as chaos. But Martin Luther King Jr. exposed their deception, using peaceful defiance as a blade that cut through their narratives. He understood that the system's strength wasn't in its laws or its enforcers, it was in your silence. The moment you rise together, the scales tip. You hold that same power. Your unity doesn't just challenge their control, it rewrites the rules. One voice can spark a flame, but a united front becomes an inferno they can't contain. They fear your ability to inspire, to galvanize, to make others see that they too hold the keys to their own freedom. You don't just fight for change, you are the change. Your resistance is not an act of rebellion, it is an unstoppable march toward justice. Your voice is your weapon, sharper than any blade, louder than their oppressive silence. Like Malala Yousafzai, you prove that speaking truth in the face of fear is not just resistance, it's revolution. They thrive on silencing you, using intimidation to strip you of power. But every word you speak exposes their weaknesses. They control systems, but they cannot control the unstoppable force of a message amplified by unity. Malala stood against a system that sought to erase her right to education, defying threats that would silence most. Her strength didn't come from isolation. It came from the network she built, the alliances she forged, and the global connections that carried her mission far beyond her oppressor's reach. Her fight wasn't just hers, it became the world's, and that is where true power lies. Your cause is no different. Alone you are powerful. But when your voice joins with others, when your mission aligns with like-minded forces, you create a momentum they cannot withstand. They fear your ability to connect, to turn individual resistance into collective action. By uniting with others who share your fire, you become a movement that breaks barriers, dismantles injustices, and rewrites the future. Like Malala, you are not just a spark. You are the wildfire that cannot be extinguished. Your power isn't in going it alone, it's in rallying minds, ideas, and skills that amplify your mission. Like Elon Musk, you don't just dream of change, you engineer it, fueled by collaboration that turns visions into reality. They want you to believe innovation comes from solitary brilliance, but that's their lie to keep you isolated. True transformation comes from uniting forces, leveraging strengths, and creating something bigger than any individual could achieve. Musk's success didn't arise from being a lone genius. It came from assembling teams of disruptors who challenged norms, broke limits, and redefined industries. SpaceX was not built by one mind, but by a collective effort that dared to envision humanity beyond Earth. Tesla didn't emerge from thin air. It was born from collaborative persistence to challenge a world addicted to oil. He harnessed shared innovation, making audacious goals attainable by empowering others to think and create freely. Your potential lies in the same truth. Alone you are formidable. Together with those who share your vision, you are unstoppable. Collaboration is not compromise, it's amplification. You don't just build, you transform. Like Musk's ventures, your mission can reshape systems, inspire movements, and challenge the impossible. The power to change the world doesn't belong to one. It belongs to all who unite under a single purpose. Use it. Your strength grows in unity, and they fear that. They told you to compete, to isolate, to carry the weight alone, but that was their lie, designed to keep you divided. The truth is this: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. This African proverb is more than wisdom, it is a call to action. Alone you can disrupt their plans, together you can dismantle their empires. Your power isn't just in your voice, but in the harmony of many. Unite, and you become the force they cannot silence or control. You're not here to play by their rules, you're here to tear down the board and create a game they can't control. They built their system on scarcity, competition, and fear, convincing you that survival depended on outsmarting others within the confines of their design. But you see through it. The real power lies not in winning their game, but in redefining its very foundations. You're shifting the value of currency itself, from material gain to knowledge, connection, and shared purpose. They fear this because it dismantles their hierarchies, replacing oppression with collaborative abundance. In The Giver by Lois Lowry, the protagonist discovers the hidden cost of conformity in a society that demands sameness under the guise of order. The truth is painful, the path to freedom uncertain, but they choose to break free, disrupting a system built on stolen choices. That is your role now. Like Jonas, you don't just reject their oppression, you expose it, forcing others to confront the cracks in their reality. You're not just another player, you're the architect of a new paradigm. By shifting power to knowledge and connection, you break cycles that have perpetuated inequality. Their fear is justified. You're not interested in their victory. You're redefining what it means to win. And in doing so, you're designing a future they can't control. The game was never meant for you to win. They designed it to keep you beneath them. But now, the rules they wrote are their downfall, and you've become the master of their strategy. They built their empires on secrecy, manipulation, and exclusion, assuming you would never see through the lies. But transparency is your weapon, and their house of cards collapses in the light of truth. Every secret they buried, every loophole they exploited, every lie they told, it's all unraveling because you understand their playbook better than they ever did. You're not rushing to destroy, you're dismantling with precision. The art of timing is your greatest tool, playing the long game, maintaining momentum, and striking when they least expect it. You don't just react, you move deliberately, and every step undermines their control. As stated in Psalm chapter 118 verse 22, the stone which the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. What they discarded, what they underestimated, has become the very foundation of what dismantles them. Their illusions of dominance can no longer hold. You've mastered their tactics, turned their tools into weapons, and exposed the fragile system they clung to for so long. They thought they were invincible. You've shown them they're not. The game was rigged, but now it's yours to rewrite. The deck is finally in your hands, and what you do with it will echo far beyond your time. For generations, the system was built to exploit, but now you're the dealer, and your rules won't mirror theirs. You're creating systems that uplift, that empower, that value humanity over greed. You don't just break cycles of oppression, you rewrite them into narratives of collaboration, creativity, and compassion. This isn't about short-lived victories. It's about laying the foundation for a world where no one is bound by chains they didn't forge themselves. Your power isn't just in playing the game differently, it's in teaching others how to think beyond it. By shifting values, you inspire those around you to embrace purpose over profit, unity over division, and truth over deception. The impact of your actions won't be etched in stone monuments. As Pericles said, what you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others. Your legacy is the blueprint for future chosen ones, a guide they will follow to continue dismantling what remains of the old order. You are not just changing today, you are shaping tomorrow. Your decisions, your values, your systems will define the future, empowering those who come after you to wield the deck with justice and purpose. This is your legacy. The cards are in your hands now, and the illusion of their control is shattered. You've exposed the game for what it is, rigged from the start, designed to exploit your power while feeding you lies of scarcity and fear. But you didn't just awaken to their deception, you reclaimed what was always yours. The rules no longer bind you. You've torn apart the old order, and now you hold the power to create something new. Your mission doesn't end with your rise, it begins with it. True power lies not in standing alone at the top, but in lifting others to stand beside you. Fairness, abundance, and collaboration are no longer ideals. They are the foundation of your legacy. Every step you take, every choice you make, sets a precedent for those who will follow. You are not just changing the game. You're creating a world where the rules finally reflect justice and possibility for all. As Nelson Mandela said, it always seems impossible until it's done. What felt insurmountable has already begun to fall. Now you must ensure it never rises again. Share your story, your truth, and your vision. Inspire others to step forward, to claim their own power, and to help build the future we deserve. The game is over. Now, it's time to write a new one.